welcome again to our next part of our Halloween icon drawing tutorial series in Affinity Designer. So I thought we'd look at this one next. Probably appears to be the most complicated, but it isn't really. So what I'm going to try and do now is recreate this this one I had done earlier. So I will just move it away to another screen, and let us begin. Now, of course, most people would probably start with some kind of, let's say, a sketch. I'm doing this very roughly. They'd start with a sketch, hand-drawn sketch. This looks absolutely bizarre because I'm using the pen tool. But they'd have a sketch of some kind, and they might even do the kind of 3D sides, etc. Now, you'll have to excuse this. This is awful, but I wanted to show you that you'd have your vanishing points, and they're coming up like this. Now I'm doing it retrospectively, of course, but so you have your two vanishing points on either side. So, of course, you can do it that way. Of course, I won't be. I'm going to select all, disappear that. Basically, you, of course, can do your sketch whatever way you like to do it. Probably, your brush tool, or just even like draw it on paper and then photograph it in. But I won't be doing that because I know this is a fairly simple silhouette. So what I want to do is I'm just going to have some kind of box. Start off with a box, and we'll do the convert to curves so I can move it in, so I can access the nodes on the shape. We're going to make it look a little bit cartoony, so I'm not too bothered if it's a little bit misshapen at the moment. So this is going to be our main part of the house, and everything else will be bolted onto this. And as we're doing a spooky mansion, we want it to look fairly gothic-y and Scooby-Doo like. So we'll need some turrets, and again I'm going to just select a box and make it more of a rectangle, make a central turret which is about here. I mean, you could put it over here or here, whatever, but for the moment I'm going to just put it here. And I'm just going to keep moving this down because I don't need too much space at the bottom here, because there's no real kind of base per se. There's no like rocks or a path or anything. It's just a floating icon for the most part. Now, of course, I can start using pen tools and whatnot, but I should say my pencil tool here, and I could start going up like this, but as you can see, it's very messy. So what I'll probably end up doing, I think, is I'm going to go and take a triangle tool, because that is the nearest thing to our turret. And we want the turrets quite long. We don't want them kind of like this. We want nice kind of long gothic turrets. And again, I'm going to make this smaller so I have more space to work with. So that would be our kind of main turret. Let me just, now obviously if we were doing a 3D object, I'm just going to convert this to curves. The turret, giving our line of sight, would be roughly like this, and then the other side would be an ellipse. I'll draw this out now. If we were making it a 3D object, it would be an ellipse from our line of sight. We would see basically the other side of this, but for this style of 2D icon, I'm not too worried about that. Excuse me, a bit of a tickle in my throat or something. So I'm going to bow these so they look a little bit strange, and I could even, like, yeah, I'll just move it off slightly to the side, just to make it look even odder. I could even do something like this, just get the handles and make it even stranger looking. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to make the base of the turret, this part here, slightly odd as well. So giving it that little bit more of a hand-drawn feel. So we want this second floor of the house to be quite large. So I mean, I might just then select both objects and do this. Hold down, Command, so we can get an even stretch. Maybe we'll do something like that. It's a little bit more, a little bit better, a bit more even. And as I said, I'm not going to worry too much about the actual three-dimensional space that this is. It's not meant to be accurate per se. So I'm just going to add in this part here. Convert that to curves, just to give me more real estate, so to speak, pardon the pun. And I'm going to put another turret maybe around here. And we'll do the same approach. In fact, I'm just going to steal this, and I might even steal this. Got to be careful though, by doing that, you don't want them to look, you know, very similar, or sorry, the exact same. Like, you don't want them to look like clones, or else it'll look strange to the eye. So I'm going to just flip things around here and chop and change things a bit. I'll definitely make these smaller, because these are side turrets. I could even do the same again. Take the object, flip it, and now we have another turret done. I could just stretch this over, something like that. Okay. Quickly now, my eye looking at it, it's way too compressed. It looks like a bit of a castle. This looks like a castle wall, and these look like, but we don't. Excuse me, we don't want that. So we'll just drag this out, and that'll hopefully give me more of a house feel. I'm going to merge these two at the moment, just because it'll make things a little bit easier to work with. Get rid of that extra, get rid of these extra nodes in there. I don't want them for now. So at the moment, I'm just kind of playing around a wee bit, just to see what type of structure I'm going to come up with. I think I'd like this central turret quite a bit bigger than the other two. I'll bring it down again. Okay, so that's kind of good to go for the moment. I'm going to put in some, just for extra detail, like some kind of crenellation. Make it look a bit bockety because it's old and worn. Something like that. Yeah, and because they're not supposed to be a castle wall, we want them kind of not don't want them to jut out too much. They're just more extra detail, really. Still looks very castle slash palacey, but hopefully once we kind of get the extra details in and stuff, it won't look quite so. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that in my mind, I wanted a spooky kind of mansion. Right, so that's fine for the moment, I think. And I think what we'll do is we'll try and thicken up some of the masonry here. Again, I'll just get a rectangle and I'll just do this. And I'll just quickly convert it to curves. Incidentally, if you do have a shape, you can convert it to curves up here. I'm so used to the right clicking, I find it just easier. Right, so I don't really need to bother with the perspective there. Yeah, I'll just bring them in a little bit. Yeah, okay, that'll do for the moment. I'll probably do it on the other two as well. We'll do the same thing. Piece of, now if you wanted to see your details while you're working, I mean, I'm just so used to, working with, black for silhouette drawing. I'm quite comfortable without seeing the stuff. But if you wanted to, you could, you do, obviously change the color. And so it'll give you a better, and then you can just select your object, your eyedropper tool, and just select and do the same. And I'll just be lazy and I'll just clone this one over here. Yeah, that's fine for the moment. Right, so yeah, it's starting to shape up nicely. This is kind of coming over a bit. I'm not sure if I want to keep that, but we'll see for the moment. And the thing about these kind of spooky mansions is they tend to have quite a few different kind of roofs and pointy bits as well. So you got and kind of gabled canopies and stuff. So I'm going to make some kind of a gable here. Yeah, let's use another piece of another shape, and yeah, and remember, it's easy to alter this stuff. In fact, I'll join this now together to make them one shape. So we have this is going to be another roof that's kind of sticking out of the side for now. And we'll do something like this. Yeah, I think that'll work for the moment. And I'm going to just put some extra detail on it as well. Just some kind of, I suppose, what would it be? Kind of a buttress of some kind. Why it's there? Not too sure. But it's kind of just for extra detail. I'm going to bring that down because I wanted the buttress to be under the roof. So I'm just giving it a little bit of extra space. Right, okay, so we have our extra buttress. This is a very kind of sharp corner, which I'm not that fond of. I might do something like this just to, no. Yeah, I'm trying to break this corner up. Yeah, okay, I'll leave that for the moment. Yeah, okay. And I think we'll have kind of a main kind of porch coming out here. So we can do another piece of kind of the stonework or whatever here like this. I'll try it here, and then we'll do some kind of main porch. So as you can see, I'm just pretty much using all basic shapes. Let's switch it up, and we'll go to the pen tool, and something like this for our porch. And if you want to make objects appear larger, you can make fine details smaller, which will give the impression that the house is a lot larger. So if for example, if I had huge steps going down, it would look like a small house. But if the steps were tiny, for example, let's see if we can kind of replicate. So if we had steps, let's pretend these are just a set of steps. Oh, I'm just doing it very quickly. Right, there's our set of steps. If we have them large like this, it makes the castle look smaller, because a human would be about, what, this size. But if we get them like this and make them tiny, the human proportion, it would make it look a lot larger. So that's what I'm thinking about, this extra little roof gabley thing, and I'll just bend it a little bit so it looks more organic. Then I'll just take another piece, because this was kind of joining on to the house. Again, we're not going for anything too realistic here. It's just really it's just a kind of a simple icon. And let's we can use the pen tool here for just do a little patch there, just to give it a to take that harsh angle off. Okay, I'm gonna do a boolean here. I'll just make it red so you can see what I'm doing. Gonna do this such. Oh, sorry. Oops, selected the. Sorry. What I'm going to do is Boolean is having a problem, so I'm just going to select everything, make everything one shape. Now, if I come in and do the Boolean, it should be fine. Yeah. Let's add another square here, just for a few more details. I'm assuming this little piece here is a bit of wood that's sticking out. For a porchway of some kind that you tend to see in American houses more than you would in Ireland anyway. Yeah, I don't mind if that looks a little bit of, there's got a kink in that, doesn't really matter. Looks like, just because it looks like old warped wood. Another piece here. Oops. Join it here. Let's just support the wood. And it, I can just start adding little bits, like rotate that so it matches the angle of the roof. Just anything really. You can pretend that there's extra support here for the wood, and it looks like it's nice and old. We can curve this as well. Just looks like it, the strain on the wood. Yeah, so effectively this whole little icon is just made out of cubes, two-dimensional shapes. You could also do this, and that would be on the other side as well, just by copying that one and that one. Probably disappear that a little bit. I mean, you could even put in some kind of like door frame here. Yeah, that's kind of barely visible, but you can exaggerate it a bit. Try and keep the same angle as the. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad there. Not sure about this second one, and if I am going to use the second one, I'll need one of those as well. I'm going to make it smaller or less visible. Okay, so we're kind of motoring along with this. Same here, like this kind of angle here, I think is a bit. I'm not sure what this could be. I don't know, some kind of gutter. Just take. No. Yeah, then that could be some kind of. Again, I'm just trying to take any of those edges off, or at least put something over them so they look like some part of the building. We could even add in another little buttress here if we wanted to, because maybe this turret is starting to collapse or something, so it adds a bit of detail. Again, over here, I think we could add a bit more, just as if there's another part. And then we have a nice bit of negative space as well. Let's leave a bit more. Okay, so this is going okay. Again, I'm going to make this a bit smaller. And, okay. Again, I'm pretty happy with everything as is, so I'm just going to make it all one object again. I might bring this down a bit. Oh, something strange has happened there. Oh, that's some kind of artifact. Right, so I think what I wanted to do is bring these parts down. Something strange is happening here. Yeah. So I want to bring these parts down a bit. Bring that up so that's like some little room off to the side. Yeah, we'll do another. Yeah. So at the moment, now it's just kind of open to artistic, what we like and what we don't like. So I could bring this out a bit further, like that. We could round these off as well. I mean, like we could select those, kind of hit C for circle tool, and make them more. Like they're kind of aged. Yeah, it makes a bit of a difference. It's nothing. But we'll do it anyway. I do use the circle tool a lot. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. And we'll convert to curves again. Just going to save this as a test. Okay. So what else? We'll do maybe one more roof here coming out. Get the pen tool, just because it's on the other one. And this is another part of the house. There's our basic shape that I've made with the pen tool. Oops, and I'm just going to fill that. So this is now another part sticking out. Make it a bit bigger. Obviously, this is the main part of our house in the front here. This is coming in from the side, so therefore this will be smaller. So we have this kind of bit in perspective, even though it's kind of fudged perspective, if you will, because we're not trying to be realistic. I wonder, would it be better like this? Yeah, that kind of looks nice and buckety. Pen tool again. Bring out some kind of gutter here. I'll delete this, bring that down. Yeah, okay, so there's our another gutter system here. Yeah, fairly easy. Let's just make a quick window, because there's going to be a window at the side, we'll say, as well. And that's that done. If you wanted, you could have a windowsill, something like that, maybe. Probably too much of a gap up here, I think, for this. Bring that up like that. Again, I like to keep everything one shape and I keep kind of merging everything. You don't obviously have to work like that. You know, if you find it easier not to work like that, you know, you don't have to. There's no, whatever works for you as a workflow. I'm just trying something else here because I think this looks a little bit, yeah, okay, quite like that. Right, okay, so I think the base of our shape is done here for the moment. I'm gonna just add in a little bit of detailing using my like little white cutout shapes just to add detail. So I think it would be good to see the roof cutting in a bit. Now I'll keep it red for the moment. And as a stroke has appeared here, which I don't want, get rid of the stroke up here. We're back to that. Probably do something, oops, I'll probably do something similar here. Again, we want to be as close as possible because we don't want any extra points really. Something like that. Okay, yeah. Well, here maybe. Pen tool is always great for doing these little slivers. And I'm obviously going to follow the angle of the roof. Okay, so let's select everything. Control A, or use your marquee tool. Deselect everything. So now all as I have selected. Oh, my bad. Sorry. I'm going to join everything now. So select everything with the marquee tool. Hold down Shift and click your shape. That'll deselect the shape, but still leave these red bits selected. Now I'm going to perform a Boolean operation. I'm going to select the shape again, and these are already selected, and we just go minus up here, and now we have our shapes cut out. I think this is a little bit, yeah, sometimes they can get it, if they can look a little bit too wide. Okay, so we'll leave it there for the moment. Now we better put some windows in our building. Just trying to think. There's various ways we can do this. Let's do a kind of a round window. I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to actually I'll keep it red so you can see it. I'm going to take these, select the two objects, aka the full building and our little red ball, and I'm going to Boolean it out so it disappears. And it's not 100% centered or anything, so which I did on purpose because I wanted it to look slightly. So I'm going to take a little triangle here. Sorry, triangle. Oh, it's the funniest looking triangle I've ever seen. Sorry, another rectangle. And I'm going to Control copy, Control paste. So now we've two rectangles. And again, I could shift to get that nice rotation, but I want it slightly askew like this. Let's select these two, select this, and just Boolean so they become one shape. Let's see. I double clicked into the shape now, and I'm going to select all the nodes. I'm going to get the circle tool and see if this works. Get a nice kind of, yeah, that's quite nice. And I will also put another, I will select that, do Boolean, and now we have our little cute round window. Now, we need some Gothic windows. So let's see what shapes we have. Okay, well, let's try we'll try this. And I think we'll just make it, instead of trying to use another shape, convert to curves, and we'll just bend this out. I'll select these two nodes, just circle, and bend the nodes in. Do the same for this, but oops, select both, do the same thing, but not as much. So now we have our demi or archway here. I'm going to convert to curves, so we'll bake those corner properties in. And let's just position these roughly. Okay, let's make them something like this. Let's get, now I'm just doing this to position, and I don't want them 100% straight or anything, just a little bit off. And we'll do two up here, like this maybe, and we'll stick them out a little bit. Okay, so if I wanted to see them better, I just make them all white. Best way to do that is select everything, deselect your building, and then just turn these guys white like this. That's okay for now. I think I'll make these two a little smaller. I think, yeah, okay. Now I'm going to get another elongated piece of white, but I'm going to make it, then I'm going to turn it black. Oops, copy paste that rectangle. I'm going to slightly skew them again. So we have, the window isn't perfect. And I'm going to copy this. Now I could, of course, just copy the whole window and start doing, but I kind of wanted to kind of skew each window individually, which is probably me being a bit, so they're kind of, yeah, they kind of look a bit, of course I've just something like this, yeah. Okay, before I proceed, I think I will 4 windows, the Boolean, and now you'll see that we have, they're now see-through. Yeah, I think we'll break everything down so it's now just one shape. And now I have to make some more windows. Or do I? So let's just take this for a moment. I'm gonna go get my knife tool, and I'm just going to carve this out. Attempt to carve it out, thank you. And so what we have is I've just carved myself a new window. And I just have to get rid of this. Oops. It's all right. I have kind of made a... We're going to take this. We're going to make sure it's all one object, and oops, but we know it's here. We'll flip it just so it doesn't look identical. Yeah, and we'll steal it again, and we'll bring it down here. And we'll steal it here, and we'll flip it. Oops, that's going to put me back to square one. Okay, so I'm assuming that this is a silhouette and everything, so I'm assuming that the crenellations are going to come over like this. So I'm just going to take this and get my knife tool and just get rid of everything below. Oops. Hang on, why is that doing that? Yeah. So that's a little bit better. Right, okay. I will now come in here to give the impression that there's another gable or part of the roof. I could do that with a triangle tool, or sorry, a triangle shape. But I just think I'll just use the pen tool. And do something like this. And duplicate it, flip it. Make them part of the shape. So, oops, I forgot to add our windows. So we can take our new windows and just do them here. Do that Boolean operation. So now they're all part of the shape, as you can see. Anything else that I would care to pop in? I noticed there was a bit of a balcony here, or should I say, yeah, bit of wood balcony. So again, our friendly shape, our square shape, and we'll just do the same. And what we'll do here is we'll just put a couple of planks and just make sure they're like a little bit different, because, and if they're a bit bockety, that'll look good because it's an old creepy mansion. Okay, that's, yeah, that'll work, I think. It's probably a little bit too much detail, but not to worry. I'm going to give and get our shape out again, And I'm just going to give the impression of some of the windows have a bit of a, they kind of stick out a bit. Something like this. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. I mean, and I could also, did I bake these in? Oh look, there's something strange happened there. I could also, if I wanted to, I could get the pen tool. That would be P, and I could do the same thing for here if I wanted. I'm not sure if I do, but and you have, yeah, actually I will leave that there. And if you wanted to add in more white, perhaps you could do, you know, those little white slivers to give it a little bit more detail. And there we have that. Okay, finally, the last thing I'll do is on my, I'm just looking at my other illustration. I had a little fence coming out of here, so let's do that. I mean, it pretty much the same as the balcony, but anyway. So we'll get our ubiquitous rectangle tool, make that black. Now we'll finally take another shape and we'll just do this to give us our fence posts. Just going to make them one object. That's very sharp up here. Don't like it. I'm gonna get rid of it a little bit. Okay, and we'll bake that in by going convert to curves. Now, so let's make our fence look a little bit more organic. So let's take about 3 or 4, whatever, and let's turn these because it's an old fence. I mean, you could even, if you wanted to add even more detail in, you could double click this, get your knife tool and pretend, well, make some kind of cut like this, remove that, and now we have a broken post. Something like this. Now we'll take another piece of wood and we'll just literally, sorry, when I say another rectangle shape, and we'll just make it uneven because it's old and rickety. Yeah, oops, I hate when that happens. And this could have fallen right down. So you know, I'm not sure about that, or that actually. But let's just say that, for argument's sake, there's our little fence. Might bring it in a little bit. Anyway, so there we have that. And lastly, I think we'll just, for badness, I think we'll just, for extra detail, we'll just add in another. Yeah. And voila, we have our finished icon, except it's not finished though, because I forgot we have a chimney. I'll do a chimney very quick. A quick chimney. Let's literally just grab your squares again. Again, you can use whatever shapes you want. You know, it's entirely up to you. But I think the quickest way for this type of stuff is just to use kind of the basic shapes. convert to curves, because maybe this is a bit damaged or something, or something like that. Convert to curves, bring this out. Pen tool for the moment, make a little shape here, just to give it some weight at the base, as if there's something propping it up. And then we could put in our little white lines. Pen tool again, maybe something like this. One on the other side, something like that. Probably would make sense to make these a little bit off, kind of. These are actually a bit thick now, I'm thinking. Anyway, you get the idea. Maybe one more sliver of white down here. And there we have it. I mean, lastly, maybe I kind of, if you wanted to show a bit of the actual roof, you could do something like this. Adding more detail in there. Could do it on any of them, really. Make sure you close them, the shape. And yeah, there we have. I will do that actually. This looks a bit weird. It's probably because anyway, something like that. So here is our finished spooky mansion. Finally, the last thing I will do is make sure everything is joined, just so it's easy to manipulate. I'm going to bring it onto here so I can see what needs to. Oops, I think I've lost a few of these. I'm not too bothered by that. So I'll select everything, deselect the building itself, and I'll just select it again and just Boolean, and we should have, and I've lost the I've lost the chimney. So we'll take the chimney. Yeah, if you want to check stuff like that, you can drag it out, Control Z it, so it's back in. Everything should work now. If I've done, yep, okay, so we can see everything is, and I've screwed up the window, but I'm not too bothered by that. So just for the sake of argument, there is our second. Let's get in our first one. Compare the two. Yeah, I mean they're pretty similar. I think the first one I did is a little bit better, but I mean, you know, you can also just adjust, you know, you can exaggerate it out. Anyway, that's it for now. I think it was a little bit longer than I had hoped, but hopefully you guys got something out of it. If you did, please drop me a line. If you could like this video, that'd be great, because I'm trying to increase, I'm up to 56 subscribers, so I'm trying to get a few more. Excuse me. So yeah, thanks for checking it out, and best of luck. See you in the next one.